My thoughts ramble and I would repeat myself. So again, my name is Adina and I'm a junior at Cristo Rey, Kansas City. I'm a second-generation immigrant. Like the movie says, I was born in East LA. What I'm here to talk to you about is SB590. Who here knows about SB590? Yeah. Alright. SB590 would make school teachers ask students and their parents for their immigration status. It would also obligate police officers to ask for documentation upon any traffic stop, something our police department has been trying to stop. It would also make it a crime for anyone not to carry proper documentation on their person at all times. So this does not just affect undocumented immigrants. So you don't have to be directly affected to feel compassion, to feel the pain that you share with your brother. Now, who here has a younger sibling? Who would go just about to the edge of the world for their younger sibling? Why? Because they're vulnerable where you're not, right? They can get hurt, but you can be there to help them. If we take this scenario and place it upon the issue that we have at hand, we see that the undocumented immigrants among us are our younger siblings. They are vulnerable. How so? They come from a country filled with terror, a country ravaged by war, a country with a publicly corrupt government, a country where it is dangerous to be outside simply because of violence.
Yeah, keep going.
They come to this country, the land of the free and the home of the brave, as refugees. They come seeking a better tomorrow. Hell, they come seeking a better today. Yeah. But how can they with legislation like SB590? How can they when even legal workers don't have the proper rights to guarantee them a racism-free environment? It's difficult. I didn't say impossible, I said it's difficult. It's difficult. Why? Because people have been doing it. In my own experience, I've seen students do it. My peers do it every single day. They go to school fighting against the odds that after high school, they won't even be able to go to college. Would you still do it? Would you finish high school and still dream of college if you knew the only way you could do it is if you had a 32 on your ACT? Because I know someone who does. I know a person, and she's here today, who's only a couple points shy of making a 32. She's an amazing person, and guess what? She had a higher score on her ACT than most of the citizens in the whole school. And if she's, I can't remember her exact score. What was your score? She had a 27. The average, from what I asked around, was about 16 that everybody else got. Tell me that's not potential. Give me a good reason why she should not be able to go to college. Simply because her parents brought her to this country when she was 4? Is that really a reason? And I don't mean to say she's better than everyone. I'm just asking why she doesn't get the same opportunities I do. If she's already at a disadvantage, SB590 would completely demolish her. That's just in Missouri, though. She could just move to Kansas or California, but it's pretty much anywhere except Alabama or Arizona. Oh, and while I'm talking about Alabama, does anybody know what's going on down there? Yeah. They passed a bill eerily similar to SB590. Their crops are rotting on the fields because no one wants to work the land now that they've run this undocumented immigrants out. No one is willing to do it except undocumented immigrants. What's going on in Kansas? Secretary of State Chris Coleman works for anti-immigrant legislation for the Kansas Department of Agriculture.
Who's he working for?
There!
An ALEC.
The Kansas Department of Agriculture is fighting for federal waivers to hire undocumented immigrants to work the Kansas land. Why? Because they see the value of immigrants. Most immigrants come to this country, they find a menial job, pay state and federal taxes, have kids who are now citizens because they were born here, send their kids out to school with a mindset to always push forward, no matter the circumstances. The kids then grow up, get college degrees, and live prosperous lives as tax-paying individuals. It's a win-win situation, and it pains me to see people who don't understand this concept. People like Will Cross, who introduced bills like SB590. If this bill were to pass, I would be further harassed by police officers simply because of the color of my skin. Now, I work closely with the Kansas City Police Department and know it controls Major L quite closely, but there is still racism in the police force. We can't control that because that's on a person's individual conscience. But I still hate the thought that I could be stopped for one single reason: driving while brown. So who's fucked up? Who wants to do something about this? Who wants to do something about this 5 days ago?
We do!
I do. Who's tired of slowly losing civil rights ever since we won them back in what we call the civil rights movement? Who's tired of having to deal with the racism in our state and federal government? Who wants to take the power from ALEC and restore it back to the people? On the Statue of Liberty, there is a saying engraved on it. The basic message is, send me your poor, and I'll harbor them and give them opportunity. The irony, the goal of our government to pass the laws it has and still be able to keep that plaque with that message up. And while our country is a better place than the third world countries from which most undocumented immigrants come, we still have quite a ways to go to fully comply with that plaque. I just have one more question before I give this mic up. Why should Claudia's talent be wasted? Why can she not be a productive member of society in Missouri? Why?